Hi, I'm going to be making some blackberry wine, and the recipe is taken from C.J.J. Berry's First Steps in Winemaking. Blackberries or brambles are freely available in the countryside, but I have got one big plant of cultivated blackberries in the garden. I'll just show you that. These are the flowers, little white flowers. The fruits, I picked most of them yesterday, so there's not many about, but they've got that black with that slight bit of red, which is characteristic of the colour blackberry. And this recipe is called light bodied sweet. So it requires 3 pounds of blackberries. So that's exactly what I picked yesterday, so that's lucky. And 7 pints of water. So could make about a gallon of blackberry wine. I'm down here now. I've been sterilising my primary fermentation vessel. Very important to get things nice and sterilised. And now I'm going to wash the raspberries. Wash the blackberries, I mean to say. Right, I put half of them in this colander, and I'm going to pour some water over them and let them soak in the water, and hopefully some of the nasties will float up to the top, and then I'll wash the other half. Washed one lot, put them in the bucket ready for crushing. Should be a lot easier than crushing grapes anyway. And that's the other lot of blackberries washed and ready for crushing. I've got the odd spider out and the odd seed from wild plants, which you don't know whether they're poisonous, so that's good. Now I'm using a big wooden spoon, going to try and crush them up. The end is that heating. Look, that was good. And it's all gone to a mush, a bit like a sort of jam constituency in there. There's quite a lot of liquid already. I've got to put some water over that, I think. 7 pints of water. That's the 7 pints of water. You've got to give it a stir and then leave it to steep overnight. So that's easy. You can't just turn that tap on. Yeah, just turn it on.
Is it pull up?
No, it's turn sideways. Hi, it's John here. It's the blackberry wine. Now, today is the 2nd of March, and we've got some people coming, so I thought we'd distill some of this off, since it seems to have become very pleasant looking and become lovely and clear, and it tastes absolutely gorgeous. And Helen says she thinks it ought to be cold, like cassis.
Well, like white wine's meant to be drunk cold, isn't it?
Right, it's a bit like it
Tastes more like white wine than red wine.
Right.
I would say.
I always think of, well, you associate black berries with black currants, but you don't normally get the same flavour. But this is a similar colour flavour to black currant, so it's proving wrong, but it's definitely blackberry because it's all it's got in it. And so this is the culmination of 6 months' work, and it's going to be worthwhile. So we're going to have a good old drink of that tonight. As I say, this recipe is from J.J. Berry, and I actually got it from a little book published about 1960 or 70, and but since then I've just mislaid the book as I do. But I've got the recipe now off the internet, and I'm just going to tell you what it is. So it's blackberry wine, light bodied sweet, 3 pounds of blackberries, 2 3/4 pounds of granulated sugar, 7 pints of water, wine yeast and yeast nutrient, and the recipe is pick fully ripe, best quality berries. Wash thoroughly in colander. Then crush in bowl. Transfer to primary fermentation vessel, which you've seen earlier. Add water, the 7 pints of water, mixing thoroughly. Allow to steep overnight. Then strain through nylon sieve onto the sugar. Stir well to dissolve sugar. Add yeast and yeast nutrients. Cover it, stop the bugs getting in I suppose, and set in a warm place, 70 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 degrees centigrade, 21 to 23 perhaps. Place for 1 week, stirring daily. Pour into secondary fermentation vessel. Now here's the secondary fermentation vessel. Now this is what we call a demijohn, and it's got an airlock in the top, so it lets air out or lets gas out, but it doesn't let any gas in. Now that is actually plum wine in there, not blackberry wine, but that's the fermentation vessel that I use for the blackberry wine. So that's the secondary fermentation vessel, and it suggests that you use one with dark glass or wrap with brown paper. I think that's to preserve the colour, I'm not sure, but I didn't. I just kept it in a fairly dark place. Trick with airlock. Airlock must be placed in so you've got to top that up whenever it gets too low, and place in a cool place about 60 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit, and leave it for 3 months. And then you what you call rack it off into the bottles, and then allow another 2 months to finish. And it suggests you rack them off into dark glass, not the white glass that I've used. Allow 6 months to age and a year to mature. So I haven't quite kept all that because we've been drinking it already, and we've nearly got through it all actually. And I made 2 lots, so that was about 12 pints, and it's April the 13th today, so as I say, it's nearly all gone. They were absolutely exceptional. It really made life worth living drinking this blackberry wine. So I smell just pouring that out. I can smell it. Cheers. Highly recommend it. Right, bye.